वंस इन अ व्हाइल आपको कुछ इतना ऐसा अच्छा लगता है दैट यू कांट स्टॉप थिंकिंग अबाउट इट. इट कुड बी अ डिश दैट you've had, a drink that you had, a friend that you met, or a place that you went to travel. And वो आपके दिमाग से जाता ही नहीं है. One such case is that of movies or TV shows that you keep watching again and again. You keep thinking again and again. क्या इसमें plot ये हो सकता था? Could it be something else? And फिर आपको देखने का मन करता है कि मैंने कोई मिस तो नहीं कर दिया. One such movie of this genre is Zack Rezer की Weapons. When I stepped into the theaters, I had only seen one trailer. एंड मैं आपको एक टिप दूंगा क्योंकि इस वीडियो में आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू रिव्यू और टॉक अबाउट द प्लॉट. आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट plot holes and certain spoilers. So if you want to skip, you can. But I'm going to talk about some plot spoilers and I'm going to give you some tip. इसकी दो trailers हैं broadly. Don't watch the second trailer. Just watch the first trailer or don't watch any trailer at all. I had seen the first trailer. Thankfully, I had not seen the second trailer. Others, it would have been a big spoiler. इतने कम budget में. See, the movie is made on a budget of $38 million and it has already made the money in the first weekend. And this is a film that I can't get out of my head. Now, horror as a genre of films, इसके tropes काफी stereotypical है, right? There are going to be jump scares, jump cuts, some reveal, something coming at you from some direction, creepy audio, creepy noise. We all know the Conjuring universe, Paranormal Activity, and many such movies. However, what this movie genuinely did was actually give me the creeps. And throughout every single moment of the movie, the audience and me personally, हमें पता ही नहीं था कि what is going to happen next. And this unpredictability and changes to the way the characters are moving on screen and the non-linear storytelling. तो ऐसा नहीं कि फिल्म चलती जा रही है बट इसमें कुछ कैरेक्टर्स हैं एंड द फिल्म इज told from everybody's perspective. So what happens is you get different POVs, however, all of them fit together to create the end story. Now, this film, I don't know if it's going to win any Oscars or any awards, but it is like a generational film and probably one of the best horror films that also has comedy in it. And Zach Kreger has done a stellar job in blending both of them. अगर आप एक horror movie में comedy आपको दिखे, you're not going to take it seriously. And अगर आपको comedy movie में horror दिखे, then also you're not going to take it seriously, right? Because as an audience, you're going to the theater to expect a certain kind of emotion, expect a certain kind of reaction. आपको फिल्म में ये देखना है. कुछ और ऐड हो गया तो it's a distraction. But however, Zach Kreger does it very well in this movie. All the actors have done a great job, and I'm thankful that Josh Brolin has taken the lead actor. Pedro Pascal was supposed to play that character, but भाई वो बहुत आता है स्क्रीन पे आजकल and there's a lot of people are tired of seeing him honestly. So thank God that Pedro Pascal is not here and Josh Brolin is here. Uh, One of the things that this film genuinely manages to do very well is that it keeps the audience on the edge. My theater was full, and people genuinely grasped when certain things happened on screen. And that is not something that you can get or expect from a lot of horror movies क्योंकि वो आजकल होता नहीं है. Horror movies have lost the art of keeping their audiences engaged for a long period of time. And लोगों को पता लग जाता है कि एंड में क्या होगा, कैसे आएगा. And so, it's quite predictable, the plot. Now let's talk about some plot holes. So spoilers begin from here. Acha, this is a movie that is shot in the modern world जहाँ पे लोगों के पास security cameras है, they have cell phones, cameras everywhere, surveillance is happening. If all the houses had cameras and ring doorbell, why did no house catch or any camera catch where the kids were going? वो तो आपको footage में दिख जाता, right? You could just ask around and figure out what was the police even doing and did they even not bother about this? I found that to be a big plot hole in this. Then secondly, what I liked and also disliked is जो main character है इसमें the witch. She and her motivations are not entirely explored. Probably they're saving it for another movie and बात चल रही है that they're going to make a prequel of this movie. But her entire motivation and back history were not explored, which I found a little weird. थोड़ा सा hint दे देते, that would have been great. Otherwise, it was pretty stupid. Uh, no, not stupid. It was pretty good actually. So, especially the way uh, her character was portrayed on the screen, she was very creepy, unnerving. But one thing that I did find stupid is that जब उसका कैरेक्टर इंट्रो होता है एंड वो मूवी में टुवर्ड्स द एंड नहीं होता बट इन अ वेरी क्रूशियल जंक्चर ऑफ द मूवी, आई फाउंड दैट टू बी a little spoilery for me and little upsetting, because जब आप एक pivotal character को ऐसे introduce करते हैं and you know that she is the villain and why all of this is happening, it suddenly makes sense to you why the plot is moving in a certain direction और end में शायद क्या हो सकता है, and then I'm like अब तो पता ही है screen पे क्या होगा. So that I found to be a little weird. I thought that a character could be introduced much later in the movie rather than much early on in the movie, and that would have been really great. This is why I'm telling you, don't watch the second trailer. आप देख के जाओगे, it's going to ruin and spoil everything for you. But all the actors have done such a stellar job, and I'm really like I'm I'm not able to recollect her name. Uh, Garner, I think Julia Garner from Ozark and Fantastic Four, and Josh Brolin carry the film on their backs. There were certain characters who made no sense. I don't know why they were there, like the police cop, the drug junkie. Well, uska character was pivotal, and the police cop's wife. Like, what happened to that plot? No exploration, nothing. But overall, this is like one of those generational movies that tells you that with the power of good storytelling and script, you can actually create a great movie. You don't need a fancy set, VFX, lot of actors, या फिर crazy budgets, but with a simple plot. And this movie is set in a very small town in America, तो इसका scope भी बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है. You don't need a lot of visual effects, you don't need wide landscape scenery, action shots, वैसा नहीं है. A very simple plot can take you very very far, and I hope that Bollywood is looking at this movie and tries to reinvent the horror genre, because इंडिया में horror बनती नहीं है, और जो भी बनती है it's absolute dog shit, and it's absolutely horrible to the point that you might as well start marketing it as comedy versus horror, right? And like even the actors are so unconvincing that I have not seen a good Indian horror film in a very very long time, and I hope that इंडिया में इसको कोई रीमेक करने का कोशिश ना करे, but try something original. Take cues from Hollywood, Bollywood. Please take cues of what you can do with great writing. And एक last tip है that if you have seen this movie, go check out Zach Kreger की Barbarian, another absolutely mindfuck movie where you have no clue where the plot is heading, and the plot goes unpredictable in so many different ways. Check out Barbarians. And some of his work also, that he's done a lot of work in sketch comedy that I learned about later on, and that sort of also forms and gives him that comedic aspect in this movie where he's integrated very very smartly without it looking very tacky or out of place. But Weapons has completely like blown my mind, and I'm going to definitely watch it again. OTT पे आएगा फिर भी देखूंगा, and I'm going to recommend this movie to a lot of people for a very long time. And I think that this is going to be a movie that goes down as a cult classic, and everybody is going to rewatch this movie multiple times again and again and again. Go check out Weapons if you haven't. It's a great film, and select a theater जहाँ पे audio or video अच्छा हो, because this has a lot of creepy audio and you're going to need that to watch this movie and really enjoy this movie. Thank you.